Hey, what's up, everybody? We're live from Overland Expo, where the show is breaking down, and
Just
everyone
real
is
quick, can
headed
you
home.
guys let us know if you can hear us?
Test of the audio.
This is a test of the audio. Can you let us know? Hi, Teresa. Can you guys let us know if you can hear us? Just drop a comment.
We wait and wait, it says.
We're not quite sure what our internet speeds are doing.
It
Okay.
says yes. Is that a yes? You can hear us. Hello.
We can hear.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
Well, I'll start again. We are live from Overland Expo, where we have spent the entire weekend. As you can hear, my voice is gone. I've been talking the entire time. We've met so many fans. It's been an awesome experience. Everyone's packing up and headed home. I hope you get to see some cool stuff drive by behind us. But we wanted to open this up and give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions about the show.
Riley's gonna have no voice by the time this is over. But basically, if you guys have any questions, there is no normal video this Sunday. Sorry, we took a few days off to really enjoy the show, have some fun, see some cool rigs, but we are working on some video content, and it'll probably be Wednesday when our next video is up. Hi, Teresa. Hope you're doing well in Nashville. I can hear, but it's not very loud. Sound's not loud enough. Okay, we're going to try something. Okay. Hi, Travman. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, is the audio better now? Tried.
Can you guys hear us better now?
The weather.
Sound is good, they say.
It was really nice yesterday, like shorts and t-shirt weather, and today we got some thunderstorms, rain. It was still very fun.
Off and on rain today, but rainy days are the best days. You know, it meant that the show was a little less crowded, and we got to actually spend some time walking around, looking at all the stuff here.
Ooh, what were some highlights? There was some really cool stuff. People are really pushing the envelope on the industry. There were so many custom campers here on Unimog chassis, M1078 chassis. What was that? Was it a Unimog? The green one we looked at.
Yeah, it was like a 90s Safari Mobile, which was a company that only made 2 or 3 of them, and this guy tracked down one of the originals and he's restoring it back to how it would have come from the factory in the early 90s. Pretty cool.
And we just want to start by giving a huge thanks to Hellwig Products for hosting us at the show this weekend. We were in their booth showing off their sway bar and helper springs, both products we have on the truck, and they have been an amazing improvement in ride quality.
There any other YouTubers there? Yes, we met a bunch of people that we have followed for a long time on YouTube, and we got to sort of fanboy over them.
We got to see Timmy with Truckhouse Life, which if you haven't seen his log cabin in an OBS Ford, it is awesome. We got to see Phil with Down to Mob. We've never met either of them, and that was so cool.
Kelly from Adventure Driven.
Yeah, Adventure Built.
Adventure Built.
Gosh, you guys. We're going to put links to everyone we got to meet. Kelly came and shot. We're going to link to all the channels that we got to meet up with because it was super fun. Other cool things we got to see.
My favorite part was going through the DIY section and looking at all the other campers that were home built, because I think there's a lot of really creative and clever ideas that come out of the home built sector. You know, just like our campers home built, and getting to meet the innovators behind those was really fun. Tempo Tusk just drove by.
We are not sure when the event will happen next year. They don't tell us anything, so you'll have to stay tuned. We love this event. This is our 3rd year being here, and it's like Disneyland. It really is. We got a ton of great ideas. I think it made us want to build a bigger camper and a smaller camper.
And a different camper, and Coach Forty's GX. We were like, I am off-road overland overloading right now in my head.
Let's see. Going to East. We are not going to East. We have a few other events lined up. Unfortunately, we're not going to make it all the way to East. That would be a trek. Oh, Simon Pierce, thank you for the super chat. Are we going to install solar at the off-grid barn?
Yes, our plan for the off-grid shop house build is that it's going to be fully off-grid using solar power, batteries, and we'll have a backup generator for those long, cloudy winter days.
The goal is to stay off-grid. We could bring grid-type power in, but it's really far away, and the cost to do that, it seems like we could be better off just spending it on our own off-grid system. We also love the idea of being off-grid and completely self-sufficient.
Actually, at this show, I had a bunch of really cool conversations with some other followers of ours from YouTube, where I was able to get a lot of great information about how they would set up a solar system, and it's given me a lot to think about.
Did we learn anything that at the show that we would now change about our build?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I think we're still processing everything we've seen.
Answer for that yet.
Let's see. What's the plan for the road to? All right, guys. We have no idea how we're going to get to our property this winter. It depends what kind of winter it is, and you guys are just going to have to watch to see how we solve that problem.
Watch the outside. He just made a frame, hold the solar array, his land like yours. Cool. We'll check it out. Thank you for the info.
SEMA is actually, it's not normally open to the public, but it will be open to the public this year on Friday. So we've been told you can go on Eventbrite and you can actually get tickets to go to the show on Friday, and that is new this year. It used to be open only to the industry.
Say hi to us at SEMA. Come on out on Friday and come say hi. It's an awesome show and there's so much to see there. If you're an automotive enthusiast at all, I highly encourage you to check it out.
Sorry, I'm reporting comments. You're not welcome here. All right.
Sorry about that.
Let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I think
Questions about the show or questions about our property. You know, we just, without a video this week, we wanted to get an opportunity to come say hi to all of you and see if questions.
We will not be pouring the concrete floor until next summer, probably. Unfortunately, the budget, we kind of had to choose concrete slab or apartment.
And getting the apartment built just seemed like it made more sense. Plus, it allows us to make a lot more videos about building an apartment than one video about pouring concrete.
Keep reading the question. I don't know what to come on here. The dogs. My mom is watching the dogs. It's pretty stressful for these shows because the camper has turned into their house, and so to have this many people looking in it, walking around it, it's pretty stressful for them. So they are being very spoiled by my mom right now.
You got us a question about landscaping at the property. We have a lot of plans to just try to do natural landscaping using the existing natural plants. We don't have water to use for landscaping, but luckily Idaho is beautiful, lots of natural landscaping available. Deep well pumps use lots of power. You're right. Deep well pumps do use a lot of power, and that is a big concern. We actually are thinking about not having a well at all and only doing rain catchment and water recirculation, and then catching up on hauling in the summer if we start running low. Because that is one of the concerns, is that deep well pumps do use a lot of power, and living off grid with limited power, that's kind of a problem.
Any ski plans? If we have time. Oh, Trav man, thank you so much for the super chat. Winter is going to be bad in Idaho this year. Yeah, we've heard some speculation. We are really not speculators, so we'll have to find out for ourselves what winter is going to be like this year. Been looking at very fun ways to get to our property if we need to. Oh, Riley, that's a good question. Are there any hot springs on our property?
No, but I have been looking into using a hot spring as a way to dump excess solar in the summer by heating a hot spring. So that is an idea we have.
Do we ever use the monster generator that we see in the videos? So we have big plans for that generator. It's going to be the backup power for our entire property, and then also is going to be how we charge our battery system in winter with limited daylight. However, we haven't really had a use for it yet.
So basically, once we get all our welding equipment up there, air compressors, plasma table, our power needs are going to go way up, and that's where that generator is going to come in handy.
Van Man said go to Mexico for winter. That is our backup plan. Turns out if we end up not liking winter in Idaho, we'll just go somewhere else.
Luckily, we do have a home on wheels right here behind us, and we can go wherever we want.
Let's see. Martha, thanks for watching from Mexico City. Are you going to get a lift for the shop?
Yes.
Heck
so
yes.
Courtney and I actually owned two-post lifts in the past that let us work on 2 projects at once on a lift, and I miss that so much. I'm looking forward to having a lift. I am tired of doing install work on the ground.
Buy a helicopter. That would be awesome.
You know anybody with a helicopter they're looking to lend us for a while? Send it our way.
What cool rigs? Honestly, there were so many cool rigs here. I'm still processing what my favorite was. Obviously, seeing Timmy's truck in real life was really cool. I've never seen a log cabin house in the bed of a truck, and that was awesome.
If you guys follow Truck House Life at all, that thing looks so much cooler in person than it does on video.
Let's see, Cody wants to know what we're doing for the deck next summer.
We have big plans for that deck, and we are not yet ready to release them to the public.
It's a secret. There's something that's going to be really awesome, but you're going to have to stay tuned for that one.
Basically, we are looking forward to having all of our fabrication and metalworking tools up there so that we can start doing some more outlandish projects.
Oh, Dean, thank you so much for this super chat.
He says,
this is to keep the unedited Riley risky moments in future videos, especially your scolding of him.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Honestly, like, I like to have fun on the job, and maybe it's a little risky, maybe it's not, but you know, that's having fun is most important. So
Did you see the M1078 with dual slides in the DIY area?
I did. I walked by it. I didn't have a chance to poke my head in it, but it looked awesome. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of YouTube like rig tours of that truck, and it looked really cool in person. They have way more space than we have. I was a little bit jealous of that.
Mark and Teresa, Timmy was awesome. He had an open mic night every night at the truck. It was super fun. It was really cool. And the first time we met him in Timmy character, he was riding by on a one wheel. So
Super down to earth guy. He's exactly just like he is on camera, but in person.
Oh, Cody, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys, we have a lot of driving to be doing in the next few weeks, so I think this might be going in our fuel fund.
Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel.
Are you planning to cut on trees up to open up the view from your apartment, or will you wait till you have a permanent home? There's a lot of clearing we need to still do for fire mitigation. That's our biggest concern, is going to be having an appropriate fire break around the building we've already built. So I think that's our biggest priority once we get back there.
This last spring, it just got way too dry for us to be comfortable continuing to cut down and clear trees, so we decided to give it a wait until we could, you know, hit it more seriously.
I'm working on a civil engineering degree. Do you have any tips? He wants to build a camper like ours. How would you recommend studying? Or what would you recommend doing?
There's a lot of really detailed information on Expedition Portal, which is a forum for self-built campers. That's where I learned a lot about these construction methods, and then, you know, also like YouTube series like the Everlanders build, they have a lot of good information. And yeah, just for me, the hardest part was getting started. And once I had settled on a build method and settled on a design, then it was just time to go. And making that decision of, this is how I'm doing it, now let's go, that's the point when the momentum really picked up.
Robert, thank you so much for the super chat. I just want to take a second to say we were totally blown away by how many of you guys were at the show this weekend. And it was like we lost our voice talking about campers and off-grid, and it's so cool that you guys, we can talk about the same things. We all have common interests, and I mean, we're going to run out of voice, I think, by the end of today. It really was awesome.
All the awesome people that we met at the show, if you're watching this, thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi. You know, we were so busy talking to everyone that we didn't even have the camera out. We didn't take much video of the show.
We took the weekend off from filming. I hope you guys understand. Do we own the Wagoneer? Nope. So I've had two Wagoneers. I had a 69 Wagoneer that we did a cantilever rear on, coilovers in the front, an LS swap. I used that one to compete in the Rebel Rally. We sold that. Then I had an 89 Grand Wagoneer, which we did a much more sleeper build on, but still did an LS and coilovers in the front. There's a theme with us. I actually sold that one to fund the build of the camper. We have a lot of really fun projects planned that include Jeeps and not Jeeps and whatnot in the near future, once we get the shop done. Where'd you learn to weld aluminum?
You know, honestly, I learned how to weld aluminum just self-taught. I watched some YouTube videos about it, had the spool gun. The spool gun's not really good on thin stuff, so Courtney actually owns the TIG welder, but spent some seat time on that, and it's the more seat time you can get with a welder, the better. And my advice is to watch videos like weldingtipsandtricks.com. He's got a lot of good info on how to weld.
Yeah, I know you guys want to know what our next project is after the apartment's done, but we can't reveal everything to you. We've got to keep some stuff secret. All right, audio sound.
Best channel on YouTube. That's quite a compliment. Thank you.
I think we're tied with all of the other awesome channels who were here. It was really cool. Phil with Down to Mob was going live, and I think we ended up in the live, so that was cool.
So go check out Phil at Down to Mob's channel, and I think you'll see a little bit of us in it too.
All right, let's see. What other questions you guys got for us? We've got a little more time to go live before we got to start packing up. Teresa doesn't want to know what our next project is. She likes surprises. We are...
What is the highest above sea? So our place in Idaho at the top of the hill is about 2,500 feet. So really not very high above sea level.
Phil is crazy. Yes, Phil is crazy.
Phil is a crazy guy, but we had a lot of fun with him.
Are we going to publish anything? Like a how-to book? Maybe someday when we figured out how to do this.
Is that something that you guys would like to see from us? Is more how-to type information and plans? It's very time-consuming to put that kind of content together. But if it's something that you guys want, maybe we'll try to make it happen.
Let's see. What else are you guys? Best thing we saw at Expo. Oh, Eric's rig.
So our good friend Eric Petroni with Never Quit. Never Quit Overland is building the most outlandish custom camper I've ever seen, complete with a water distiller on board so we can take seawater and make fresh water out of it.
Redundant systems. I'll link to his, he has an Instagram page that's following the build. I'll make sure to put a link below of that. It kind of looks like a pirate ship when you first walk up. It has this massive rooftop deck with umbrellas and hammocks, and it's on an F-550. It is so cool.
And he's planning on living in that full time for the unforeseeable future in South America. He's a super nice guy. He's also partnered with Buckstop just like we are, so check out Eric Petroni, Never Quit Overland.
What are we doing for septic? We're still trying.
Oh, noise.
We are still trying to figure out, we might not be doing a conventional septic system. We're actually looking into some wastewater recirculation systems, processing, basically sewage treatment plants, mini plants to process. There's a lot to consider. We don't have a well. We're not planning to drill a well anytime soon.
If we could recirculate our water, it would go a long ways towards conserving water and drastically reducing how much water we need. And I think we could get away with only doing rain catchment.
So we're still kind of in the research phase of that and trying to figure out what's a good fit for us. Where do you buy your materials for your builds?
So like for the camper build, most of it came from a local hardwood supplier and a local metal supplier. And for our barn dominium build, it's all coming from local lumber yards.
Monique, thank you so much for the super chat. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's Sunday, right? Is it Sunday?
It is Sunday.
How are we planning to deal with snow?
Yeah, so we are going to have to plow. I'm looking for a wide enough plow for the front of the M1078. So if any of you had a lead on like a 9 or a 10 foot wide snow plow, I'm interested. Send it my way. Or we're also looking into getting maybe a skid steer.
Pete, thank you for the super chat. We really appreciate it. Are we planning on building a cabin, and if so, what type? For now, the apartment is plenty. It's significantly more square footage than we were used to with the shipping container house. However, I think we would like to build an additional structure on the property, whether or not it's for visitors, guests, family. We would like to build unconventionally with that one.
I'm just really interested in things like structural insulated panels or reinforced concrete blocks, and so any kind of unconventional building we could do, I'm interested in learning more about it. So probably not a log cabin, definitely not a stick-built house, something different, something weird.
Eric's rig looked awesome. The Line-X looked amazing. The colors were really cool. You were talking to the Line-X guy. How many pounds of? It's a huge camper.
430 pounds of Line-X on it, and it took them like 400 hours to do.
It's beautiful, but holy cow. It's pretty loud right now. Hustle and bustle. People are moving out of the show. What kind of wood do you use?
Wood in the camper or wood in our build? All the wood in our build is Doug fir, and all the wood in our camper is either Baltic birch plywood or knotty alder. R.J.
Hansen said a tow rope lift system on the property would be cool. Good.
Yes, I am.
Hold on, we're gonna say thanks to Mike from Hellwig for hosting us. Mike is
YouTubes. Hi,
he's literally breaking the booth down while we're doing this. So huge thanks to Mike and Hellwig for making this happen. We wouldn't be here without them. Let's see. Hi from the UK. Shop has a large roof water collection. Yes, we absolutely want to do rain collection and snowmelt collection off of the property.
We have a pretty big drainage area from a big basin where the snow is going to collect, and I think that there's a good way to capture that through a sand filter and store it in a cistern.
Were there any printer-made rigs or parts here? Do you know?
What company?
Printer?
Like a 3D printer?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of 3D printed stuff. Well, I know that Chris at McLean Metalworks uses 3D printed stuff in his products.
McLean Metalworks has a super cool hammock mount that goes in your hitch. One of our favorite products for sure at this show.
He's a good friend of ours from college, has a super cool company building fold-out hammock mounts. Check him out, McLean Metalworks.
Let's see. You guys have a lot of good questions. I think our internet got glitchy for a second. Let's see.
Can you guys still hear us? It seems like our internet cut out.
We're a little delayed. Let's see. What other cool things did we see at the show on the road till SEMA. Hey Rob, how's it going? We had a lot of fun seeing Zach and checking out the Earth Roamer. Talk about life goals. Those Earth Roamers. We took a ton of inspiration from Earth Roamer. We also took inspiration from Tiger and Global Expedition vehicles on this build. And the Everlanders.
We also got to check out the new Terra Nova from Earth Cruiser on this show. It's like their brand new release. That truck camper is awesome.
Very cool. Oh, hey Jack, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by the booth. For Wi-Fi, we are using a MoFi router in the camper with a visible SIM card. It works awesome for us. It's a little spotty at the property sometimes, so that's why we haven't been able to go live up there, but we are working on a better solution for internet on the property.
For life on the go, having basically it's a router with a SIM card, and we get internet everywhere we're at.
Melissa, shoot me an email with your information, please. Oh, hey Pete, thanks for the super chat. Ooh, off-road daily driver. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but I have a Lexus GX. I absolutely love it, and it's pretty much stock right now, and we definitely have plans to build that in the future.
The GX 470 platform is basically a Forerunner on steroids. They're awesome trucks.
Do we miss working on the apartment? Yes, it was really hard to leave, but as soon as we got here, I remembered how much I love this show, and I haven't had any regrets since we got here.
The tough part also is the 1,900 miles between the apartment and here that it took to get here, but now that we're down here, it was awesome.
This is such an awesome show. Let's see. I need some water. He's the best. That's a cute dog. Overland Expo is super dog friendly, and our dogs are not here. My mom's watching them, but it's been really fun to meet all of the dogs that are here. I hope Boone doesn't think we're cheating on him. It looks cold. I get cold really easy, so don't base the weather off of what I'm wearing. But it is definitely cooler today than it was the other day. How does the camper handle in wind? Well, stationary, I guess. So we camped in the rig at Expo. I guess there was a windstorm the first night we were here. We had no idea.
We're camped next to the four-wheel campers booth, and we heard them talking about how the wind woke them up, blowing their tent tops around, and we didn't even know.
We had no idea there was. And then driving in the wind, the truck handles amazing.
Thanks to our Hellwig sway bar in the rear, it keeps the truck planted, especially on the highway, especially in a crosswind.
Yeah, the show was in Flagstaff. We love Flagstaff. We have friends here, and so that's awesome. Is there a room for a crib in the apartment? I don't know. Is someone visiting with a baby?
Why would we need a baby room in the apartment?
You guys, you keep me in check. I'm going to have to start drinking a beer on these lives. What are your plans this winter? The plan is to get back up to Idaho and keep building. If it's a real winter like we've talked about having 20 years ago, we might just go mountain biking in Moab or something instead.
Luckily, if we have a house that's on wheels, and if we need to leave, we'll leave.
How do you edit your videos? I do all of the editing. It's time consuming, but it is also super fun.
What do you use to edit your videos?
Oh, so we're mostly shoot on we have a GoPro Hero 9, and then we have a DJI Pocket Osmo Pocket. That's what we're shooting on, and then I do all of my editing in iMovie, so nothing fancy. One of my favorite ways to get music is Epidemic Sound. It's an online website. It's a monthly subscription, and they have a ton of songs to choose from. When is the M1078 camper build? There were a lot of cool 1078 camper builds at the show this weekend.
I do not think you will ever see us turning our M1078 into a camper. If we were going to turn an M1078 into a camper, we would spend way more time shopping for one in pristine condition and probably an A1 model with the 3126 engine. Ours is just not a good candidate for a camper, but it is a great work truck.
Great question, Mark and Teresa. What type of wood stove? We are super open to suggestions. That's not something that we have any experience with. Coming from California, we want a really small wood stove for the apartment that doesn't take up a lot of footprint. It's 475 square feet that we need to be heating, so we do want something with a fan to help move that air. But any suggestions you guys have, feel free to email them our way. Something small, and I would like it to have a glass door for ambiance.
It'd be sort of modern looking, boxy, not. Oh, it's about to get really loud.
There's a tow truck. Stand by.
We're back.
What was the most frustrating and most relieving part of the shop build this far? Was it overwhelming? Oh, it's super overwhelming. I think that we went out with chainsaws to cut the first tree down is when we realized it was real. We're really doing this. And then what?
I think for me, the most frustrating part was like trying to actually come up with the plan. Once we had the plan in place, it was all downhill from there. Things were easy, but figuring out exactly what we were building, where we were building it, how big we were building it, that was the most intimidating part for me.
I think the most frustrating part for me was sourcing materials. It's just hard to find stuff right now, and we had to be so flexible with the plan, and the plan changed a lot. I don't know if you guys remember, we had originally planned to build a much larger shop, but custom trusses were 12 weeks out, and so we had to really pivot, and we found some 30-foot trusses in stock, and our building went to a 30-foot span.
So we have plans in the future to add a second 30 by 40 in an L shape off our existing building to end up with 2,400 square feet of shop space.
Try a pellet stove.
Now, I've considered pellet stoves, but we have a lot of... Sorry. I hope you guys like the background. We thought it'd be cool to have all the
cars
rigs
driving
leaving on the way
by.
out. Anyways, we have a lot of firewood that's from clearing the property, and that's free energy for us. So a pellet stove, while it seems like an easy solution, we have all this free firewood that it seems like a better idea to use that.
Build your own stove.
We could build our own stove, but we are going to need the stove before we have our welding equipment up there, so we can't really fabricate, and we're going to need a stove. So maybe we can start with a temporary stove and build a cooler stove later.
I doubt we actually build a cooler stove though.
Phil!
Hey, Phil, come here!
Oh, hey!
All right, you guys.
Hey, guys.
We didn't plan this.
Hey! This is the guy,
This
Phil
is
from
Phil,
Down to Mob.
Down
We've
to
been hanging out
Mob.
with him all weekend. Great dude. Check out his channel, Down to Mob.
We have had too much fun.
We've had way too much fun. I felt like I've known you guys a while, like years.
Phil's got a super cool build. Do you want to tell them about your build?
Thank you. Yeah, it's Jeep Gladiator. It's put it through hell, but also, it's a flatbed. So we removed the bed. We've got a camper going on it in probably a few months. But I'll be living full time out of that. I'm still kind of full time on the road, back and forth between getting working on the truck and stuff. But yeah, this thing's insane. Like, I saw this before I met you guys, and I was like, oh, I wonder what camper company like that is. I did not think that you had built it. I'm still impressed.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
Go check out his channel, Down to Mob. He does tons of cool rig tours of like all kinds of awesome overland and off-road trucks, and just a fun personality to watch. And
Thanks, guys. It's been really fun to meet you. And are you camping? You're not camping here tonight, are you?
we don't know yet.
Oh,
we might
cool.
be here tonight. Are you here tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna camp
Okay.
over there.
When you drive
Cool.
your house,
Yeah.
you can go wherever you want.
Go wherever
Turns
you
out
want.
like a lot of the coolest people at this show stay an extra night at the show and like all hang out and have a big party here. So maybe we'll be hanging out again tonight.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
I love that you're living in the moment. Like, literally, you don't know where you're sleeping tonight, and that's what you built this beautiful truck for. So, like, good work, you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You're just
Phil.
killing it. It's cool to see.
All right.
So yeah, we're gonna see what Mike's doing, and we're gonna kind of take Mike's lead. I think when's Mike packing?
This mic?
Yeah, we trust
Okay.
Mike.
We
Hellwig,
trust
of course. But yeah, great seeing you guys on the live stream, and thanks
Now we've
for
been in
thanks
each
for
other's
letting
lives.
me thanks for letting me crash your party.
All right.
Thanks for
We'll
joining
see you on
us,
the road, if
All
not
right.
tonight.
Yeah, heck yeah, we'll see you tonight.
Phil. All right.
Oh yeah.
How are we going to power the apartment?
So we have a big off-grid power system planned, including solar panels, batteries, inverters, backup generators, the whole 9 yards. That's still a ways out. I haven't quite spent the time to figure out exactly what our loads are to know exactly how big of a system we need. For now, we're just powering the apartment off the camper.
Wood stove heated hot tub. Yes.
So we actually have one.
Hopefully that's coming soon. We'll see. We might have a lead on a hot tub.
We have a lead on a really cool cedar wood-fired hot tub that
We'll see. Hopefully that works out. Do you have or will you be getting some snow toys?
we have no snow toys, well, other than snow skis, but I think it'd be really fun to have snowmobiles, and hopefully we can figure out how to make that happen.
I would love a snowmobile. Hint, hint, hint. Are we ever going to reiterate old projects? Yeah, I think it'd be super fun to do a recap on some of the stuff we've done in the past. We've done a lot of different builds. We've never owned things for very long because we've always worked with a really tight budget and we needed to sell what we built to fund the next thing. For us, I think the thrill is in the build. I think we're also going to do an episode very soon about how we've ended up here and how we can afford to do all of this. The only reason we haven't done it is it's not like as simple, it's not a simple video. We've had a lot of different business ventures, some of which have failed and some of which have gotten us to where we are today. So I think we'll do a video on that very soon. Is there anything you would do differently when buying raw land? That's a good question. You know, there's so much to consider. I think the most important things are access. Make sure that you have really strong access to the property, especially if it's private easement to get to the property.
A few of the properties we looked at were on a private easement with only one way in, one way out, and that means that if anybody along that easement were to decide to block the road, you could pinch into a legal battle. That would be long and frustrating. Our property actually has a loop.
Something else that's important to consider is to not be in a wetland. A lot of areas we looked at on the map are actually in a wetland, and that really limits where you can build, where you can do septic, and so that was a really big factor, I think, to consider when shopping for land. Your neighbors. We have amazing neighbors, and we feel so fortunate, and I think that that's something that's really important, especially somewhere you want to live a long time. Wood stove, quadrifier, 3100 flat top pedestal.
Awesome. We'll check that out. Thank you for the recommendation.
Thanks, John. Will you ever move back to the Central Coast? No.
I don't see us going back to California, but maybe not. We'll see.
CNC projects, yes. We would like to get more equipment too. We used to have a mill and a lathe, and I'm sure that you would love to have.
Love to have a milling machine again, especially. I would also really like to have a CNC router. I think there's a lot of awesome like woodworking projects that open up when you have the routing capability.
Oh, you guys have some really good wood stove suggestions. If you could email me, Courtney at trailtestedmfg.com. Chats go away and they're really hard to find, so if you guys could email me, I would really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Boiler. Let's see, what else?
A wood-fired boiler seems like a great solution as well, to be able to use all that wood energy that we have that's free on our property to be able to heat water, and you can also use a heat exchanger to heat the air too with one.
Cedar hot tubs have a bacteria problem.
Okay.
Good thing Riley's a water treatment operator. Let's see, are you looking forward to snow season? Absolutely. We are really looking forward to snow season. We like challenges. We like hard things, and I think that there's going to be a lot of them this winter.
I love the snow, and I'm just excited to live somewhere where there's snow. We've traveled a lot in the snow, but I've never lived somewhere where there's snow.
We do have quite a few cameras on the property, and we've gotten elk and white-tailed deer and turkeys and...
The neighbor got a bear. We haven't seen the bear on our cameras yet.
Bear. Let's see. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This is really fun. Our property, we are in North Idaho. Do you want to have small talk?
Wood boiler burns a lot of wood. Well, it seems like either we have to have a wood boiler to burn a lot of wood to heat water, or we have to have a propane boiler and burn a lot of propane to heat water, and getting propane to our property could be a challenge. So the more we can do with wood, it seems better, but maybe that's a mistake. Love if any of you have first-hand experience, send Courtney an email at courtney@trailtestedmfg about what your experience with a wood boiler is.
So for the interior, for this winter, the plan is a staircase inside that us and the dogs can use, and then eventually, once we do the exterior deck with the staircase, then that interior staircase will probably get removed, and that would be when the fire pole comes in. And I agree, I think the fire pole would be cool. Yes,
or a slide.
We do have no shortage of wood, but we have learned from the neighbors that cutting the tree down is the easy part. It's processing it and splitting it that's time consuming. So, although, what are you looking at for the excavator?
So I did find a company that makes a wood splitter for our excavator that goes on the thumb, so you can just use the excavator to pick up the logs and then split them.
Hey Dave, how's the weather up there? Are you ready for winter? I don't know. Are we ready for winter?
I mean, can you ever really be ready? We don't really know what to expect, and we're just kind of excited to figure things out. And there's sort of been this looming winter over our heads, and once it's here, then we're in it, and then we can start problem solving.
Let's see, rope ladder instead of fire pole. Why don't we do a fire pole and a rope ladder?
A way to get up and a way to get down.
Tree houses on Airbnb tree houses. Ooh, it just got colder.
It did get much colder.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be super cool. We don't have enough hours in the day, you guys.
We have a lot of projects. Like my head is just stacked with projects, but only so many hours in the day to get to them. So.
What other cool things did you see this weekend?
I really love the creative and clever use of space, especially in the much smaller campers, like the habitats that flip up with a little tent. I think there's some awesome, clever ways that people utilize every inch of those. I also love the gigantic campers and seeing how lavish and outlandish people can build them.
Yes. So, George, good question. We are probably going to put one interior window in the apartment that overlooks the down in the shop. The problem is that too many windows and you really start losing wall space, and there is a lot of storage integrated into most of that wall. But in the living room, I think we will put a window.
It'll really help.
Oh, go ahead.
Having a window from the apartment to the shop will help bring a lot of the natural light that's going to end up in the apartment and cast that down into the shop, because natural light is obviously the best light for working.
Good question, Maggie. So the stairs into the bedroom are just temporary. We wanted the bedroom in the back because it's quieter back there, and then we wanted the living room in the front because that's really where the view is, and that's where the deck's going to go, and so we wanted the living room to spit out onto the deck. So that we were pretty sold on the living room in the front and then the bedroom in the back, and then we didn't want to put stairs in the front because we don't want to lose any height up in the shop area, because that's how we're going to pull the camper in and out and to be able to work on it, or the army truck or whatnot. So that staircase is very temporary until next summer when we can get the deck done. Let's see.
Putting insulation on top of the apartment seems like there will be a wide space. So yes, we're planning on having a fully insulated apartment and shop with basically an enclosed attic area with blown insulation in the roof.
Epic ski pass. We would love a ski pass, but I think we're gonna have our work cut out for us this winter, so I don't think a ski tour is in the books for this winter.
We had the Icon ski pass last winter. I have never skied so much in my life. It was amazing, but this winter we're gonna be busy.
Hey Rob, yes, Expo was amazing. Amazing. We had so much fun. We were exhausted. I think I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow. It was so cool to meet so many people who followed the build. And like, oh, what are the things we heard that are hilarious? We heard the camper looks better in person. We heard that Riley looks younger in person.
We've heard that Riley looks thinner in person.
So poor Riley,
We've heard that Riley is too reckless.
We heard that, no, really, it was all super awesome, positive, people checking out the camper in person. It was really fun to show it off and check out other rigs too. You get to camp in your rig at the show, so we got to have all our stuff. I mean, people asked how we slept, and Riley's like, well, it's like I slept in my house.
Because we had our house here, so this is a really fun show. It's like, pretty much if you're a vendor here, it's like a 24-hour show because the show never ends.
If you didn't make your own camper, what brand would you consider for ski snow camping?
So I don't have a lot of first-hand experience with the purchase campers. We've owned Lance campers before, and while they claim to be 4 seasons, there's a lot of exposed plumbing that I would be worried about in a Lance for true winter camping. I have a friend that winter camps out of a Bigfoot camper that he has great success with. So if I were you, I would check out Bigfoot campers or Northern Light campers. I think those seem to be the best off-the-shelf 4-season camper.
Hey Oliver, that is a good question. You know, we are not home right now up in Idaho, and our tools are up there. We are not worried about them being stolen. It's Idaho, and I do not recommend driving down random roads in Idaho. We have great neighbors, and everything is buttoned down and being very well taken care of. Have a great weekend. We had a great weekend. Hope you guys are also having a great weekend. George is building on the coast of Washington. Ooh, that sounds fun.
It'd be fun to be a little closer to the ocean, but having a giant lake, I think, is also pretty awesome.
And congratulations on retirement. Oh man, it's getting cold. Bixby Pass. What?
Sort of wrap it up.
Sure. All right. If you have any last questions, fire them away because I think we're gonna wrap this up and get on the road. Water catchment, yes.
Yep, we plan on doing water catchment, solar.
Let's see. Scan fan, what is your real name? So that I can connect the dots. Dave P. Great.
Especially North Idaho.
Richard. Oh, Richard. Yes, it was so great meeting you, and I have your card. And thank you so much for stopping by. We went and talked to the Honda guy. That was fun. Hey, Derek. Thank you. All right, everyone. We are going to wrap this up.
Thank you guys all so much for tuning into our live. You know, sorry there wasn't a video this Sunday. We took the weekend off, and we're looking forward to getting back into more content for you. So I hope the live will fill you in until then. And so thanks again for tuning into this live. And
I think Wednesday's video is going to be on a little story on us and how we got here and how we're making it all happen. So I hope that you guys look forward to that video. I think it's probably gonna be a hard video for us to make. Talking about ourselves is very different than just swinging a hammer on camera. So looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys enjoy. We'll see you Wednesday.
all right, we'll see you guys Wednesday.
You know how to stop it.
I don't know how to stop right here. X. Sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.